up guys, we are back for another video. If you have never seen me before in your whole entire life, welcome to the strange ass family that we have created. I was looking at my YouTube channel over the holidays, guys, and I was like, why is so many people subscribing? Like, I haven't posted anything in like a month. Sorry, but I needed a vacation. And like, so many of you subscribed, and now we have like over 180 subscribers, and I'm literally like, wow, y'all really like me. Like, wow, thank you for joining, and I hope I don't disappoint. But yeah, it's great to have you on board to watch me fail at life. And you know, it's been a while. It has been a while. I don't know if y'all know, I'm back in SA. I'm on vacation. It is winter break. I'll be going back to school in a few weeks, sadly. But in the meantime, this is the video that has been waited on for such a long time. And I'm sorry it's taking me so long to make this, but honestly, I just needed a rest. I haven't made any art in the past few weeks that I've been here. This is my vacation. I don't want to do anything that's related to like my profession, my career or whatever. I am showing you what art I made in my first semester of Parsons. A lot of you guys wanted me to do this. A lot of it, well, like, some of them aren't that great. Honestly, I just needed to hand stuff in. Y'all, classes were like so close together. Some days I'd only have like one night to finish a project because I'd have class in the morning, and I'd only have that one night because the class that needed it would be the next morning, you get me? That's why some of these don't look as great as they should. So the first piece, this was at the beginning of the semester. This was for my drawing and imaging class. We basically had to make a diptych at first, but then after we had presented our pieces, we she asked us to make a third piece to make it a triptych. So this one is ink on paper. Ink is a medium that I like using a lot. I'm very familiar with it. And yeah, this is what the piece looks like. It's a lot of like lining. So like two of the pieces, the whole page, and then the other one is just like a circle, so it's just like only like part of a section of the page. I really like the circle one because it's very neat and I enjoy looking at it. It's very like geometrically and aesthetically pleasing. It's just like a lot of chaos and calmness at the same time with like the three pieces. This one, I think this was done on Illustrator. Honestly, I'm not that like technologically advanced, and before I came to Parsons, I had never used Illustrator in my whole entire life. Photoshop, I was like moderately decent at because I had learned how to use it in high school, but Illustrator I had no freaking clue. And so this was also for my drawing and imaging class. I learned how to use like Illustrator and Photoshop like really properly and like use it art-wise in this class. So what we had to do was we had to like take a photo of a building, and you had to turn that photo into an Illustrator thing, but you had only like a few options of colors, so that's why you can see the colors on the side. And you had to like color in the building. Basically it's like you know, you're coloring the numbers, but Illustrator, that's what you had to do. It was hard like tracing out each thing, but otherwise just putting the colors was pretty simple. But honestly, you didn't have a lot of variety for what colors you had. But this is what the night version looks like. This one was for my studio class, but for this class you had to make a poster, and you had to act as if you were an artist in New York, and you had to like make a exhibition poster that this person would have when they're displaying their art somewhere. So this is what I made. Yeah, this was made on Illustrator as well. Graphic design is not my passion, no offense, but as you can see, I'm not that skilled in graphic design at all. But yeah, so my artist that I had chosen was Barbara Kruger. That's what I did. And I made the title of the exhibition, I Am the Sole Property of My Body, because it was like about women's bodies and stuff like that. And then you also had to make art pieces that were like based on their artworks as well, but I'm not going to show you those as well because those are crusty as fuck. But I had taken some photos and I had printed on fabric, and then I used dye to like make it like tie-dye as well. But yeah, that's what I did. The next one, this is probably one of the worst this is the worst outfit that I have made in my entire career as a fashion designer. I didn't put a lot of thought into this because it was finals week and I was like, I just want to get this done. I need to hand something in, and this is what I did. But I had made this dress and I used like wire inside to make like the gold draping. But the concept was like she was a goddess and she had like, or just like a supernatural being, and she had elemental powers. So her power was like manipulating air and wind and stuff like that. So that's why the gold is like, that's why the fabric is like draped and stuff like that. But yeah, I had asked my friend Kriti to model this. Shout out to Kriti. But yeah, this isn't one of my best works, honestly. As soon as that class was finished, I think it was the last class that I had. As soon as that class was finished, I literally threw that shit away. I was like, bye. I could not look at it. Also, my dorm is kind of small and I didn't have a lot of space to keep it in, but I just threw that shit away. The next piece was my final for drawing and imaging. This is mixed media. It's a printed artwork from Illustrator, and there's also ink and pastel pencils as well. I really like this one. I think this is probably one of my best mixed media pieces. I called this "What is my existence in the world?" because as you can see, the person is very like minuscule and it looks like the person is being confronted by this bigger being, and in comparison to the whole piece, everything is just smaller. The person is supposed to be me, like being confronted by myself, you know. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And then the next pieces are also from drawing and imaging. It's painting. I am not a painter. I don't think I'm a painter. So this was my first time doing figure modeling, like figure model painting and drawing. So that was an experience. Honestly, I know they're horrible, but I'm quite proud of myself for being able to capture these people onto a page with paint, because I've never done that and I managed to achieve that. And I could see like with each lesson that we had with the new model that I was improving my skill in painting. I don't think I'm gonna do painting again, maybe on fabric for like outfits and stuff. But so this was a piece, this painting in particular was 2 pieces before we had to do the final painting, which is the next piece. This one, I think I did pretty well on this one. Not amazing, but you know, decent, which I am just glad that I managed to do. This one was also for drawing and imaging. You had to paint yourself with like a risograph. Okay, a risograph is basically like an eco-friendly printer, but the thing is you can only print like sections at a time. So you have to put in a color, choose which sections you want in that color on like Illustrator or Photoshop, hide the other sections, then print it out, and then it'll come out. So with the painting, what you had to do was draw it out on Illustrator, so like make the shapes and then see which shapes you wanted certain colors, so you print it out onto the risograph. And then here's the risograph version of the painting. She wanted us to make it like geometrical painting thing of yourself, so that's why it looks very like, it looks like there's lots of shapes within it. And yeah, so that's what you had to do. And then the next one is studio. You had to make something that related to your god, but also a god that was like, I don't know, but it's very confusing. It had to like relate to like a god in Hinduism, but a god that you made up as well. The god that I had chosen was Brahma, and since he has like 3 heads, I decided to do like 3 plaster makes of my face, like in different expressions. so that it would look like I had like 3 heads or expressions. And you can also tie it up at the back so that it's like face here, and then yeah, that's what you had to do. So this was made out of plaster. And the carrying on with the so that one was made out of plaster, and carrying on with the god theme, before you had to make those like the plaster thing, that object, you had to make up a god. And my group and I had chosen to do like an Egyptian theme, but it's not at the same time. But like the Egyptian theme is just like the background, but you had to make up your own supernatural being, and I had chosen like the goddess of sewing or whatever. And this is what I made on Illustrator. Again, graphic design illustration is not my passion, but this is what I had made. For drawing and imaging, again, we had to do like a synthesize this project. Unfortunately, I hadn't really taken like a nice picture of the final outcome, but this is what the illustrated version looks like. So first I had sketched this out, I had inked out the black parts, and then I had traced out the shapes on Illustrator on my computer, and then I had filled in the sections. And then the purple and splotchy spots on the Illustrator is a photo of shweshwe, which is a fabric that we use for like traditional African clothes, and the rest of it is just like colored in from Illustrator. So the shweshwe is significant because the model in the photo is me, but so like the shweshwe is like part of my skin, so like, you know, Africa is part of me type of thing, traditional things are part of me, you know, yeah. And then I had printed this out on fabric, and I had used an embroidery machine to like embroider certain parts of the fabric so that it would really like pop out. So I don't have a photo of that, but this is just the Illustrator version. This project was for space and materiality. We had to make like a body extension out of wood. So this is made out of wood. I had also used rope. I had deconstructed rope and then put it all over the arm piece. This could actually fit my arm. I'd thrown it away. Also no space in my dorm, so that's why I had to throw it away. So I had made sure that it fitted my arm and that I was able to put it on. But it's supposed to represent like medieval Victorian way, where they had like these puffy sleeves and everything was just very extreme and extravagant. And so this is supposed to be a sleeve that they probably would have used in like a futuristic way, if you get what I mean. This next project was also for space and materiality. I had dedicated it to my aunt. There's also a performance piece of me wearing this. You can see that I've uploaded it on my channel. I'll put the link, I think it's up here. I'll put the link up here. But yeah, you can go and watch that if you want to. And this was made out of plaster, metal, and rope. That's what I had used, and I also painted the hands. So these hands are plaster mix of my own hands, and then I had secured them onto the metal rings with wire so that it would look like a crown. And so these hands had held up a veil that I had put on top of the hands. And then part of this performance piece, I would take off the veil and people would be able to see the hands. This next piece was for studio. It's a triptych, I guess you could, yeah, for a photography series. You just had to capture yourself as like what someone saw you as when you were like younger, what people see you as like as an avatar online, and then what you see yourself as, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna show you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, and tell me what you want to see from me next, or just some random ass shit. I don't care. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget, so you can cringe and watch me fail at life. I will see you guys in the next video. Love ya. Peace.